frapsing started.
Yeah, so blue's the plate.
Okay, in reference, it doesn't really matter where, what, or when we're talking about. But here's the situation. We've dropped down, we've killed 3, and now we're all rolling and stacking in what is the last, right? So on one of these, the purple is just random and it's across the room, so you can see as an example.
Okay.
Alright, so we've come out and we've broken. We now have a grip that's either gone off or it's about to go off. We're breaking this out. A-Mal's being picked up. A-Post is tanking him. We normally just tank him straight up right next to him too, and then have the bloods tanked right at the plate so you can taunt him right onto him.
Right.
But
Tanking bloods right here,
yeah.
And then A-Post is kind of like right here.
Exactly. And the reason for that is because it doesn't really matter. Like, as long as everybody's stacked up right on the plate, no one's gonna really get hurt by aggro. But either way, that doesn't really matter. So the main issue here is we get it down to 9, and you might have 1 or 2 excess by now. Every time you kill an A-Mal that has stacks, you lose 3 seconds of time to gain your bloods. So in reference, you start with 8 seconds, and you work down by the time, forgive me, math is horrible right now. Put it this way, by the time you get down and you kill 5 when you're on your last platform, you're going to have 3 seconds for every blood. So you're going to have a blood coming out every 3 seconds from one of these random directions, which is why you're overcrowded. You have like 30 bloods out.
Right.
Alright, so the end result, this is what you do. You have everybody pop up the plate, and what happens is you don't have to do this on the first, you can do it on the second one. So the second plate is broken, everybody's stacked up here, right? So whoever wasn't the blood tank, so that is A-Post, right?
So me. No, I'm the blood tank, he's the A-Mal tank.
Exactly. So the A-Mal tank goes over, breaks his corruption, wherever it popped up, and it's the one that's been gripping people.
While everyone's DPSing on this plate.
Exactly. Then he brings them back here to, halfway mark or whatever the case may be, and he just tanks them. And while he's doing this, all the bloods that are left over, he taunts back here with them, and he starts to AoE the bloods down. So once he gets the bloods down, he's probably got 4 or 5 of them. He can start taunting a few of the ones that are already up, and then when that's done, what you do is the new corruption has already spawned. You have the DPS switch, and they kill the new corruption, right? So the new corruption's out, new A-Mal. So A-Post picks up the A-Mal and brings him up here. Right?
So now he's got 2 on him.
Well, no. I'm sorry, that was you. You break it out with the melee.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I get the tanks confused.
Alright.
So the blood...
That's right, so now I have a lot of bloods and the A-Mal.
Well, you won't have a lot of bloods. You should only have a few, because A-Post should have been taunting off of you.
Gotcha.
So
I gotcha.
He's got the majority of the bloods back here with him, but no more than 6 or 7. That way you don't overstack. You're doing the same thing. By the time they AoE it down, you have 2 A-Mals that have then soaked up either 5 or 6 apiece. Then you guys go and roll. When you do this, it's a clean sweep. There's no excess. All you do is you continue to do this. By the time you get to the 3rd plat, you might have an excess of 7, 8 of them. That's what we usually come up with.
I see what you're saying. So we're just inserting extra rolls, basically.
It's not even extra rolls, it's an extra A-Mal. And the idea is that you don't stack the bloods together and expect them not to get 9 stacks. You split them. So now one of these guys is back here with a bunch of bloods. And not only are the bloods not being killed and AoE damage going out to the raid, because it's way back here, but you're also causing a less likely chance to just screw up the RNG and have one of them pick up 9 by accident. So now you have 2 of them out, separated, bloods are split, and the range just DPSs your bloods if they're not dead by the time the plate's up. So the range will just switch to the one in the back. And then, you get what I mean, right? Range are stacked here with everybody. Everybody's stacked here except for that tank that picked up the spare.
Alright, so let me just run through this just to confirm that I've got it. So, alright, well there's my first confusing point. So when the plate goes up, you're talking about doing this on the second half of the plate, starting. So plate,
It's
you
the
know, we
final
burn the
hit.
second AMAL. Yeah, so second half of the plate, Apos is tanking the AMAL, I'm tanking the bloods. We get 9 stacks, he runs them up, the AMAL blows up. DPS starts going on the 10. At that point, Apos runs over here, grabs the corruption, picks up the corruption, it spawns the AMAL, he brings it back over to here, back in the back.
Correct.
I'm up
He's also
here,
doing
I've
one other
got,
thing.
you know, 15 blood. Okay.
Okay, exactly. That's my point.
He's taunting. I've got a bunch of bloods. He's going to start taunting those off of me, bringing them back, or grabbing them, whatever he needs to do.
Mhm.
So at this point, he winds up with basically an AMAL with, say, 7 stacks on him. I now have a lot less bloods. I go over, as the tendon's now dead. Oh, I see where, okay, now it's starting to make sense. So at that point, the new corruption is spawned. I go kill that with DPS, bring back the second AMAL. We AoE enough bloods down that we get 6-7 stacks on that one. At that point, we all stack up and roll.
Exactly. That's when you get the Spirit Link totem down, all stack up, pop a Tranquility, and there's no fatality because you have 9 stacks and major damage going out from bloods being AoE'd in a big old group together. Like, that was a brilliant idea.
I got you. I got you. No, that makes perfect sense, actually.
And and I could tell you, that was the part that really concerned me because I didn't like it.
No, that works out great. Now I'm assuming that will be enough